Well, thank you. Now we're going to move into bonus questions.
Bonus.
Bonus.
Can I say bonus?
Yes, you can.
Final.
Final. With failure, right? Everyone, well, I would think everyone has experienced failure, one sort or the other. What have been some things where when you failed, what did you do to turn the tide or whatever to get the success you were looking for?
Right. So I kind of have the mentality that Thomas Edison does, which is not failure, which I think is what you're alluding to. But I also understand what you're asking.
Yeah.
So guess what I do? I plug it into a system, and I always start with mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that the reason that I won't call it failure, but it didn't go as planned, was there something in the mindset piece.
Okay.
Where we, wanting something that we shouldn't have wanted, where we, philosophically in the wrong spot, where we mentally, whatever.
Yeah.
Where we asking too much, not enough, whatever, right? So I'd play around with that for a little while.
Yeah.
And then I would go right into systems and say, did we really follow the system?
Mm-hmm.
Did we get the right fishing pole, which we talked about?
Yeah.
Did we get the right line?
Yeah.
Did we get the right hook? Did we get the right bait? Did we throw it into the right pond? Did we, so did we follow the system, which that is systemic, right? And then they, just on a little side note, they go, why don't you just fish with a net? And I'm like, because we're trying to get fish, not freaking tires and whatever. But we fish with a net too, right? So we do both ends. But anyway, and then the third thing I always look at in that order is the person. Is that the right person? I forget who wrote that. I don't read books, but I listen. Because I just can't sit there and read. It drives me crazy. I'm too ADD or ADHD. Everybody else has PhDs. I got ADD, ADHD. We're watching Atypical. And my wife's like, you're on the spectrum.
Yeah.
That's good because he's straight up.
Yeah.
Right? He just tells it like it is. I love that guy. Sam. See, I promoted Atypical. There you go. Netflix, whatever. Because we don't get to watch a lot of stuff. But when we eat dinner, we'll watch 30 minutes. Whatever. But anyway, and what was the question again? Sorry.
Talking about failure when everything fails.
Yeah, and those are the three. I go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and it's always in 1, 2, or all three of those.
Yeah, gotcha. Now, what is the difference between a CEO and a CFO?
Well, in title, so the Chief Executive Officer, which is the CEO, the CFO is Chief Financial Officer. Okay. And now they got, they just make names up, right?
Chief. Like what you do with your...
No, I don't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, what is it? I was gonna say traditional transmission. We're on the same page. Traditional transmissions. I'm like, that's the dumbest thing ever. Anyway, I'll get that worked through. What was the question?
Yeah, what is the difference between a CEO and a CFO?
Oh yeah,
other than a name.
Yeah, so the Chief Executive Officer, they're basically the leader.
Okay.
Right, they are it. Right, and they may not be the owner.
Yeah.
So I always try to compare it to the sports or Bible.
Right.
And so you've got the owner of whatever, Denver Broncos or whoever, and then you got the chief officer, or in this case maybe they call that the general manager. Okay. But he's in charge of the operations or whatever, or maybe not. Maybe he's in charge of other things. But in the end, he's kind of the buck, other than the owner's the real buck, right? Yeah. And so versus the chief financial officer, they just deal primarily with the money. Okay. Yeah, and so that's kind of the distinction between the two. But again, look, all this traditional talk, scale growth and the marketing, everybody just calls it their own stuff. Anyways, and go on to Google and it's like 53 answers, different answers to the same question.
So, your personal opinion, of course, would you think that it is better to invest into one big business or invest into a bunch of smaller businesses?
It again comes down to understanding yourself or self-awareness, or what I call know thyself, right? Yeah. So, if you're a little bit more risk adverse than somebody else, maybe you go on on one.
Yeah.
If you're a little bit of chicken like I am, you want to, get 10 or 11, 12 different lines.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. You could probably go all in with Amazon, and that's probably going to be a pretty good bet. But nobody knew 3 years ago that Walmart was going to go kind of all in online either. Right. And it sounds like that's what they're doing. So, I don't know all the what if, ands, and whatever buts about it, but I know that Amazon's building distribution centers, and Walmart already has distribution centers all over. So I don't know who's going to win that. And I don't know what's more important or less important or how it all work out. But, the chances of those two or Facebook not doing extremely well, meaning you could go all in with them, or probably slim to none. But you may like the other. So I told you we had those 3, I don't want to say lines because it's bigger than lines, but we had the 3 corporations. Yeah. And one of them basically had to shut down. We have 2 others. So if you went into one and they basically had to shut down, you're SOL. Yeah. So I like diversity, but you're also not going to make as much financially, and maybe not help as many people, but you can still help a bunch and make a bunch over on the other side too.
Got it. So this one comes from personal experience, because I think this is great for people that are trying to sell things.
Yeah.
So if you could describe how you would sell a product, remember that you gave me the speech of the boombox and the lady and selling. I think it was. I just thought about it. I forgot it.
Yeah, I'm not remembering. Yeah, the boombox.
Yeah. So they needed a radio for their baby and the.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what I tell people, salespeople, which we've had thousands and thousands, and most salespeople, they sell what I call benefits and features.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Versus selling solutions to problems. And here's the difference. And that's the So a lady comes in to, let's say, a Radio Shack or so. I'm going to start getting endorsements from them.
Yeah.
They go into a Radio Shack, and most salespeople, untrained and they don't know what they're doing. They'll go right into, hi, how you doing? What do you need? Well, I need a boombox, or I don't know what they call them now, but radio, stereo. Yeah. I'm like, see, they're like an 8-track tape. Yeah. I'm like, you don't know what that is. Anyway, they're like MP3. I'm like, I don't know what that is, right? But anyway, so they'll go in there and they'll start showing them the boombox, and they'll just talk about benefits and features. They'll say, oh, look, this is a graphic equalizer. Oh, this controls the bass. Oh, this controls this. That's no way to sell. All you have to do is ask a simple question. So what are you here for? And they say, well, I'm here for a boombox. And then you ask one more question. Well, what are you trying to accomplish? Right? And so this lady comes in, and I would already have read what was going on. She's got bags under her eyes. She looks really tired. She's not as fit as somebody her age would normally be. So what am I saying? She probably has a baby.
Right.
Now I don't know that, but I'm going to confirm that. I'm gonna. They say they read the room or whatever. That's what I'm doing, right? So that's kind of that art thing, intuitive and different things. But now I'm going to take the science with it. I'm going to ask those 2 questions, and she says, "Well, I just need to put my baby to sleep, and the baby seems to like music, and I'm having trouble getting it right."
Yeah.
So instantly I start saying, I start problem solving. So she's, a new mom. She's tired. And she just needs the music. She doesn't need all this fancy bells and whistles, and she probably doesn't have the money to pay for all that crap.
Right.
So why am I going to try to sell her a $400 stereo when a $19.99 one will do the job?
Right.
But I'll give her 2 options, so that's step 3. Mm-hmm. So I'll go in and I'll say, okay, so basically, I make sure I have everything that she's needing and wanting and whatever, and let's say that the second thing, part of that, she said, and the baby seems to be real relaxed when she sees something on the wall.
Yeah.
So I go, okay, well, if you didn't tell me that, here's a stereo or boombox for $19.99. You're gonna have to step up to the one that's $39.99 because it flashes up what you're talking about. But it's gonna help you in the end. So the extra $20 is worth it. Versus trying to sell something that they don't need or benefits and features that they don't care about.
Yeah.
So when you sell solutions to people's problems.
Right.
But you have to ask them what the problem is. You should start thinking and speculating. What do you think? But sometimes you're right, sometimes you're not right. When you ask them, they'll tell you. Yeah.
Well, hey, we appreciate it. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Yes, sir. Oh, remember that? The Progressive. I told you. Did you see that commercial?
When
the guy sits
no,
down.
but you